Hello Studio 4 and welcome to our Studio 4 website. This is going to be a really helpful tool that you will use all school year long. I'll give you a tour of this before you actually are going to save it as an app so that you have really easy access to it all school year. At the top you'll notice that there are some headings. You can explore this at your liking, but there's a tab where you can learn more about your Studio 4 teachers. But really we're going to focus on this student page today. So if you click on that student page, it's going to take you to some button options that you can go to. You can also access these different buttons or different tabs by hitting the down arrow right next to the words student page, and they're going to take you to those options as well. You're going to talk about soft starts if you haven't already with Miss Lee, but this website gives you access to those different challenges that you might want to use. The daily schedule we're going to talk about in a little bit because that's actually the most important one that you'll probably use every single day. We have a tab for reading and math when it comes to the Mark Twain challenge, when it comes to goals, and then we also have a goals tab, but you'll learn all about those other tabs as we get to them throughout the school year. The first one you are going to start needing right away is that daily schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that tab. And on this page is going to pop up with our schedule for the day. So this is going to match what's typically on that board next to Mrs. Lee's desk. So it'll show you the activities for the day if you want to take a look at it. A lot of people ask us, when is recess, or when are our specials today, or what are we doing this afternoon? So instead of asking us 46 different times from 46 different kids, just go ahead and get on our website and take a look at the daily schedule, and your answers are right there for you. So that's on the left side of that daily schedule, and on the right side you're going to see some blank boxes that as the school year gets going will start to be filled up with other buttons. These are where helpful links are going to be. So anytime we need to get you guys all onto a certain website or a Seesaw assignment or a Google Doc of some sort, we are going to link those websites right here. So when you get on our website and you go to the daily schedule tab, there might be a YouTube video in that math box that we need you to click on, and that way it takes you straight there instead of everyone having to type out that long URL of www.youtube.com/blah blah blah. So this is just a really easy way for everyone to be on the same page. Now to show you guys how to save this as a website, I'm actually going to have you guys save it as a website starting from the daily schedule tab, because that is how often you will be using this tab out of all the other ones. So I'm going to start from the very beginning, and feel free to pause this video and go back and forth between listening to the video and saving this website, or you can watch it all the way through, become an expert, and then save this as an app. Please help anyone in your group that is struggling. So I'm going to start at the home page because that's probably where the QR code took you. And once you're here, you're going to click on that student page either at the heading or the button down below, and it's going to take you here. We're going to go to the daily schedule button, and so your page should look just like mine. Once you're at this point and the top toolbox, you're going to see the box with the arrow pointing up. It's next to the URL bar. We're going to click that button, and it's going to pop up with some options. You're going to scroll down. Your list might look either shorter or longer than mine, but you're going to go down to the option that says add to home screen. So click that button, and this is where you get to name it. We typically just would like you to name it Studio 4 site or website. And then when you click that word add at the top right corner, it's going to take you to your home screen, and the Studio 4 website should pop up now as an app. So when you click that, it's going to take you straight to that daily schedule tab every single time. Having that access on your homepage is going to be really helpful because you won't have the QR code in the room to scan and get to our website like you do today. So please save this as an app. rewind the video if you need to learn how to do that again. All right, and the next thing that we're going to talk about is actually our classroom library. If you look up, you'll see our large classroom library. We really value reading in this classroom. Both Miss Lee and I love to read on our own. We love to read to you guys, and we love seeing you enjoy a book as well. If you are ever wanting to use our classroom library, you are more than welcome to. We love when it gets in use. We just have a couple of expectations to make sure that our books are ready to be shared with the class. Our first expectation is that you are using the genre labels to help you find a book. So you will find a genre key telling you which sticker colors equal which genre. So we have realistic fiction, historical fiction, graphic novels. We also have some picture books and some nonfiction books that you can find in the gray crates. Those don't have the colored sticker labels, but they do have different labels talking about what topics they might be about. Our second expectation is that if you're borrowing a book, it's getting returned. Whenever you're ready to return a book, please just put it back into the proper spot, matching the sticker color to where you put it. We are completely fine with you taking these books home if you know that you are going to return it. I know some of us struggle taking home materials and bringing them back. Sometimes they disappear or get lost in backpacks or lost in rooms. So if you are someone that doesn't think that it will return back to school, we do ask that you just leave it here, and maybe it's your silent reading book just for here at school. The third thing that we expect out of you guys is to treat the books with respect. These books are not purchased by Epic. These have been purchased by Miss Lee, by me. They've been gifted to us from other teachers or other friends or family members. So we want to keep them in the best condition possible and keep reusing them as years go by. Another cool thing about our classroom library is you'll see on the top shelf on the left side of the classroom library is where we are going to house our Mark Twain nominee books. I'm going to talk all about the Mark Twain Challenge next, but we do like to buy the books, and we are trying to build that up right now. I think we only have about 2 or 3 at the moment, but of course the Epic Library has them as well, or you can always check them out on Sora. But those will be labeled with a gold star, so anytime you use that, or anytime you check those books out, please just return them to the top of the shelf, matching the gold star section together. Now, some of you have already heard about the Mark Twain Challenge. Some of you, this is brand new news to you. Here in Studio 4, we love to push you to read books out of your comfort zone, maybe some genres that you've never read before, or maybe some books that you thought were too hard for you, but really you can get through them and power through and still enjoy the read. So we do love to partner with our librarian and push you to try and do the Mark Twain Challenge. So the Mark Twain Challenge you can find on our class website. So if you click on that tab, and you go to student page, and then you click the reading tab, you'll see the Mark Twain Challenge tab. Go ahead and click that, and then this year's nominees. And this is where you're going to find a lot of important information about this year's Mark Twain books. So first, there's a slideshow you can click through to find the winner of last year's Mark Twain Challenge, the Millionaires for the Month. If you ever got to read that, that's the one that won. And then as you click through, you're actually going to learn about the new Mark Twain nominee books. So these are a list of books that have been chosen for the state of Missouri for grades 3 through 5. And these books are basically, they're just really good, and they want to figure out which one is going to be the winner for this school year by kids that read them and vote on them. So once you're on this slideshow, if you click through, you'll actually get to see all of the books, and there's some links on there that you can click to get some previews about that book. So sometimes it's a book talk, sometimes it's a preview of the book, but if you keep clicking through, like some book trailers and it will show you all of the Mark Twain nominees for the school year. So on there, you will also see the very last slide, slide 17, is some information about a field trip. So this is a library field trip. We support it, but this is not done by Studio 4. This is all Mrs. Schumann. But to get access to the field trip, so in order to go to it, you must read all 10 Mark Twain books. Or not all 10, sorry, there's 12 total. But you must read 10 out of the 12 books and pass the quizzes, which there's 5 questions on the quiz, and you have to get at least 4 questions right. So that means you might need to get started on reading these Mark Twain books. We sent, I think, 5 or 6 kids last year on the field trip that were able to get it done, and they really, really enjoyed it. It's so much fun. Mrs. Schumann can give more information about that once she knows a little bit more as the school year goes on. But in order to pass those quizzes, you'll scroll down on our website and you'll see the book quizzes link. So you will click that and it's going to take you to a KIA website, and that is where all of the Mark Twain quizzes are housed. So let's say I read the book Pony, which I read over the summer and I highly recommend. I'm going to find that book title, click on it, you'll put in your first and last name, and then the 5 questions will pop up. When you pass those quizzes, write your name on a sticky note and the name of the book on a sticky note and put it on either Miss Lee or I's desk, and we will count it towards you reading one for us, because not only could you try and go on this field trip, but we also have our own challenge going on here in Studio 4. So if you read 4 of the 12 Mark Twain books by this December, you will be invited to a Studio 4 winter Mark Twain reading party. It usually includes just a quick little party just for those that qualified. Last year we did hot chocolate and lunch in the classroom and a short little movie or video of some sort. Sometimes it's candy, whatever it may be. It is a really fun way to celebrate you reading 4 of those books before winter break. Our next challenge is if you can read 8 out of the 12 books by May, we will have another one of those parties. It will be a spring party. Again, typically staying in the classroom for lunch, and then you get a sweet little treat from us. And then, of course, if you read 10 before the field trip, you will get to go on that field trip. And then our biggest challenge, and we did have 2 students last year succeed at this, if you can read all 12 Mark Twain books, we will get you a full-sized candy bar of your choosing. Last year we gave out a large Kit Kat and a large Hershey bar. So those were the candies of choice last year from those 2 students. But we are hoping to get at least 1 student reading all 12 books. This is a completely optional challenge. You do not have to participate and read 1 Mark Twain book at all. But again, this is a great challenge, and a lot of kids got into it last year, and you can ask the 5th graders at our school which books they would recommend, because a lot of them already have a head start on the challenge. If you have any questions about the Mark Twain challenge, please write them in your notes, and when I get back on Monday, I will try and answer all of them.